Hello. Yeah, I'm fine. I was just about to ask you where you are. Oh, R7 told me that they can hear me on screen.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to ORL Online Racing League. Here with me, Gio Maldonado, also known as George Morgan. I am joined by my partner in crime once again, Maku. Maku, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine, and I hope this will be an exciting race in Japan. And yeah, let's see who comes out on top.
Certainly will. We're here at the iconic circuit of Suzuka, playing host to many incredible events over the years. This race won most iconically with the constructor McLaren and have done so since 1977. This circuit, a 5.807 kilometre circuit, 3.608 miles in total around this track. The race length usually around about 53 laps. Obviously, it will play host to a different number here this evening. Last year's winner, obviously, without question, Mercedes, with Valtteri Bottas taking the win with the fastest lap from Lewis Hamilton, who took P3 in that very same race. Those two were split by Ferrari, the Ferrari of Sebastian Vettel. Obviously, with the corona crisis at the moment, F1 has been sidelined due to the recent pandemic that has stretched through the world at this stage. So naturally, we have had to turn to esports racing in order to try and fill the void. Hopefully you guys at home will enjoy the spectacle that is before you here at ORL, and I hope you're all looking forward to it there in the chat. If you have any questions or want to raise anything, obviously please put it in the chat box below. Support your favourite drivers here today. Currently leading the championship after his win last week, Jarno Opmeer for Mercedes, currently lining up on currently in P1 in the championship with Speed Barry just behind him, and I'm sure these two will be putting on a show here this evening. We'll just quickly go through the Drivers' Championship right now. As you can see, Jarno Opmeer, the 80 points currently putting him at the top, with 74 points behind him, Speed Barry, infamous there for Renault in P3 with 36 points.
Sorry to interrupt you.
For Sven Zerner. Apologies there, sorry Maku.
But they're still seeing the F20 picture on stream, so maybe you can quickly fix that.
Yeah, no, it should spring on. It should automatically spring on.
Alright.
Yeah.
Then I'm sorry, go on.
No, it's okay. Napadovsky obviously in P5 as well. Simon Vigang in P6 for McLaren. McLaren actually looking relatively good with Sven Zerner and Vigang up there. Could they continue the good form here at Suzuka, where McLaren have been so prominent over the years? I'm sure they will have every chance on this grid of fantastic drivers and cars that we will be seeing now later on tonight. Maku, any comments after the previous race last week? Obviously you were here and you saw it all unfold after the dramatics at Silverstone. Give us your thoughts.
Of course, we had an interesting race and we had some interesting strategy. I think most of the race was strategy because the guys who were out on the hard tires after their first stop could last them until the end, so they won basically. It was basically a little bit of a surprise that we had no one from qualifying qualified like in the front places, was then later on winning the race. But yeah, was a lot of strategy, as I said, and we had some incidents were very unfortunate. But yeah, it was all in all a very exciting race.
Yes, it certainly will. Well, we'll quickly head over to qualifying now because it's about to commence. As we can see, Camille Common has already notched himself on pole with a 1:26.956. You're just catching up with us here on ORL Racing League. I hope you're all having a good evening. As you can see, Camille Common currently leading the way, and he's quite happy on P1 for the Toro Rosso team. Like we said, 1:26.956, the best time so far, but we've still got 13.5 minutes left in qualifying. Sorry, 13.50 minutes. 50 seconds, sorry, here in qualifying. There's his teammate S12, Alvaro Aznar, notching himself into P2 there with a 1:27.199. Obviously, the preliminary laps at the moment, still a long way to go, as I've already said, and I'm sure these guys will be trying to crunch out some smaller numbers, certainly as we go through qualifying. Still well over 10 minutes left. Sven Zerner knocking himself onto P3, a good start there from Sven Zerner. Naturally looking to turn his luck around after a very difficult start to the season. A few little issues haven't gone his way, but he's still in P4 of the championship and he's still very much in touch with what's going on ahead of him. Currently only in front, Jarno Opmeer, of course, Speed Barry and Infamous just ahead of him in the championship, and I'm sure the McLaren driver will be looking to turn it around, Maku.
Of course he will. And yeah, we had some discussion about times in the chat, so I can maybe tell that Speedberry, I think, has made a 26.2, and yeah, I think with slipstream of drivers, he maybe will be a little bit quicker, maybe get a 25 if everything runs correctly, if he gets his run alright, but yeah, that's what you hope always in qualifying.
Certainly do. Napadovsky there going slightly wide there at the 130R. Unfortunately, obviously had to let through the faster driver coming through because obviously they're starting their fast laps. A few obviously on there, as you can see Napadovsky there going off circuit. Obviously trying to protect the drivers who are out on their quali laps as he comes into the pit lane. We're just going to be looking further down. A few complaints about my camera angle. Do apologies, guys. I actually use it for when I'm racing. So hopefully I'll get that sorted out hopefully for the start of the Grand Prix. It's just so I can see a lot more of the car. But we're watching there, Krangh currently in P10 here in this qualifying session, 127.439. Krangh actually qualifying towards the front of the grid at Belgium, Maku, and currently has 1 point to his name in the World Championship. Can we see more from this man?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think there's always room, you know. You can always see someone fighting up, but yeah, I think he certainly has a chance.
With his teammate Leonard also on 127.821 at the moment in P14. We am still yet to see from Hayes at the moment, who's currently sending his Red Bull down through the 130R after the spoon curve, and he's on his outlap, so very soon he will be commencing his faster lap. As we see, Stiv is also yet to go out as well. Jake also yet to come out. The two Renaults currently sitting in their pit boxes with Infamous, our P3 in the championship, currently sitting in the garage waiting. He's on his, well, saying that, he's actually out and about on his outlap now. Brownie also currently out looking to achieve something on his fast lap for Haas. So it'll be interesting to see what happens to Speed Barry in all the drama there. 126.774 Red Bull on P1, Maku.
Yeah, and well, I think Speed Barry and pole was kind of something to predict, but I think there will be some people challenging him. Let's see if I feel like Sven Zerner get close to him. He once I think even got a better quality time than him. So yeah, let's see everyone at their best.
Absolutely. Well, we're just watching Hayes come down now. Obviously, Speed Barry's teammate this season, making his way around the hairpin curve as he makes his way down towards the 200R, and very soon he'll be tackling the spoon curve, sending his car around that long sweeping left-hander that you've got to take with great care as he makes his way around now. Very smooth on the power. Oh, lost a bit of shape. Oh, and he just saves it there. Going around the bend, he could have really, really lost it. If you do touch the curve on that spoon curve, and it comes with really sharp consequences, and that will cost him time. He will not be happy with that, and he makes his way around the 130 out. Naturally, he slows down. So that's it from his lap as we now watch Brownie making his way around the into the pit lane. Obviously not happy with his lap so far. As we now go back to Infamous, who's now on his what looks to be his fastest lap as he makes his way around the spoon curve and dashes down towards the 130R as well. And as he does so, he's got a car just in front of him, looking to get a drag off that Renault there at all, Maku?
Yeah, a little bit I think, but it was right before the corner, was not a lot, but maybe a little bit. If the rest of the lap was perfect, maybe he gets the 10th or something he needs.
Well, we're about to find out as he comes across the line. What's it going to be for VSR Infamous? I'm guessing... Oh, he's gone into sector 1. That time seems to have kept going. I'm not sure if there's a problem with the lobby there or something. Bit of a strange one.
Possible.
We've got a bit of a migrating host issue at the moment by the looks of it.
Yeah, I think so. We might need to restart the session.
Yeah, bear with us, ladies and gentlemen. We seem to have a little issue with the session by the looks of it. VSR Infamous's time has kept going. And therefore he hasn't managed to set a lap. We're now well into the 2-minute mark of his lap time at the moment. It's now saying
now he's on the outlap.
He's on an
we're
outlap
restarting.
It seems to have changed. The wonders of Codemasters, Maku. Thank you very much, guys. As we look further up, I'm sure it's not their fault really. These things happen. We're now following Sven Zerner, heading around. He's currently in P8. Naturally, we'll look to nail a faster time. To really aim to improve McLaren's prospects this season. Like I said, more to come from Sven Zerner as he makes his way up towards the hairpin bend. He's got ahead of him, it looks to be a racing point, and looking at it, that could either be Krangh or Leonard, the way things are going. Krangh it is, in fact, and he's out on his outlap as well, but we will come back to him at a later date as we watch Sven Zerner come round towards the spoon curve. Any tips for you in this race, Maku? Is there anyone that really sets your eyes apart from other drivers? Is there any, from your experience, should I say, over the last race or so?
No, not really. I'm not even sure who will come out on top of this because I think Japan is a very different track to the others. Not only because it's the only 8-trigger track, but also the first corners and the S's afterwards are really complicated. And I think this race will also be about pace, of course, but also about how long you can do this lap by lap perfectly, nail every corner.
Absolutely. I mean, naturally, a very fast track in places, but also a technical track is Japan. So plenty of has seen many gracious events and many rivalries have taken place here at Japan. Obviously, the likes of Senna and Prost, for example. You've seen the likes of Schumacher and Villeneuve, Schumacher and Hakkinen. And of course many others. Obviously Suzuka brought back into Formula One from 2003. Obviously there was a little split in between when the Fuji Speedway was brought in, but naturally Suzuka was brought back eventually and has become a highlight of the F1 calendar. Certainly one of my favourite tracks to play on this game, as we now watch Alvaro Aznar, who had to go off wide there, letting his colleague through there. Well, not his colleague, sorry, one of the Williams drivers, should I say. In fact, it's Bernardo Pero, what looks to be Bernardo, who comes across the line in P2, no less. Maku, good time for the Williams driver?
Yeah, but we're restarting the session, so that's just a little practicing.
It looks like
I think so, at least. I don't think we will restart the race directly. I think we will repeat the qualifying session and then start from the beginning. But
well,
yeah.
Let's just pretend the last
10 minutes.
how many minutes didn't happen. Oh dear, wonderful. No, it's all good fun, folks. Very soon we will be commencing the restart here. I do obviously apologise. We'll just as soon as we have the next lobby set up, we will be right back with you. But Maku, obviously Thrills and Spills, your experiences of Japan, have you had many over the years? Is there any real racing moments that you've cherished over the years of
no, not really. I've not been that much in contact with Japan. Mostly in the game, but in the game it always was kind of one of the circuits I didn't like. But more because I was not that good at the track, and it was just too tricky for me to really get fast on the track. So yeah, it was always something too challenging for me.
Well, I gotta say, they've got some very iconic corners. Obviously, the spoon curve is
yeah, of course,
iconic. Of course, everyone knows the spoon curve. It almost carries the same weight as the famous parabolica at Monza. I mean, obviously, if you catch the curve or you make a mistake, you can very easily lose traction and spin out. So you can be very susceptible to issues on a circuit such as, such as Japan. I mean, obviously keeping it on track is vital. Certainly the 130R is quite an iconic one, even though it's only a little kink in a circuit, but it's a very fast bend, and if you miss it or get it wrong, you could easily find yourself in the barrier.
Yeah, there are not a lot of corners like that because most of the corners on the which are nearly straight are not that dangerous as the 130R. So yeah, that's really a special one, and it even got redesigned, but obviously it wasn't that much better. But yeah, let's see what happens this race in this corner. Maybe there will happen something interesting. So
well, we could certainly see some twists. Yeah, I think they're just coming through now. We will very soon be back with you, ladies and gentlemen, as soon as we get this underway. I think obviously we've had some glitches here, certainly with the lobbies here. Obviously F1 and Codemasters, obviously it is susceptible to it. It's a very, as you guys probably would have experienced in ranked lobbies or unranked lobbies, anything to do with online racing really. with F1 2019, things can go wrong. Obviously it's the nature of the beast, but no, nonetheless, we battle on. At the end of the day, we'll just quickly wait for the invites to come through. But if you guys have any special Japan Grand Prix moments, please list them in the live chat below. Obviously, we've got a lot of time before the start of the qualifying session, so very keen to get your thoughts on who you think is going to be at the precipice of this Japanese Grand Prix. Who is going to be in P1 at the start of the race? Please obviously drop your comments into the chat window. I hope you're all having a good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us here on ORL Online Racing League. and very soon we will be back with you with qualifying very, very soon. We're just waiting for news of the lead committee team, and very soon we'll be underway yet again. Invites coming through your end, Maku?
Oh, wait, what?
Invite? Did you get your invite as well?
I hope so. I was invited like 3 times or something.
Keeps it interesting though, doesn't it, with a few lobby interruptions. It's nice in the session, doesn't it? Good stuff.
Wait a minute, I think I have to restart the game.
I'll tell you what, I'll do the same. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back after a short break. Keep it with us. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to ORL. Apologies for the delay there. We are about to get back underway here in qualifying with us here. I'm George Morgan, back again with Maku. Maku, hello again.
Hello there. So, second try. Hopefully it gets better.
Well, you know
so basically, first qualifying was just practice for the drivers. Maybe we'll see even faster times this time.
We could well do. They'll get to know the track now. They'll be all warmed up, ready to go. I mean, naturally, obviously, at first, if you don't succeed, try and yet try again. You know, of course, I'm sure these guys will give us something to watch without question as we are about to head into qualifying. Ladies and gentlemen, obviously, just to recap from what we said earlier, we'll go through the championship numbers just to say, in case you have forgotten already, we're just saying Jana Watmir currently leading the championship on 80 points, Speed Barry on 74 points for Red Bull, infamous there on 36 for Renault. Sven Zerner in McLaren, 33 points to his name in P4. Napadovsky in the Williams, 22 points to his name in P5. Simon Vigang, Sven Zerner's teammate for McLaren, 21 points for him. Perez there in the Williams there, 20 points on his championship standings so far, with Fabrizio Donoso in P8 on 18 points in the championship, with Colagon and Calcifer rounding it off, P's 9 and 10, one for Red Bull, the other for Alfa Romeo, 16 and 15 points respectively between those two as well. So we're about to get ready here for qualifying here at Japan. We'll soon get re-underway. We're looking forward to seeing what these guys can bring here in this Grand Prix. Hopefully very soon we'll be back with us and load in. Maku, any eye catchers from the start, from that first initial qualifying session we had earlier on? Obviously with Speed Barry yet again notching himself on pole. He's a formidable force, isn't he?
Yeah, of course. And I think we only had like 2 times in the 126. Yeah. So basically, I hope we'll get some more drivers under the 127 mark. And yeah, but let's see what the others all can pull out.
Well, it certainly seems to me that the sweet spot is around about the 126.8 or 9. I mean, that'll pitch you pretty much into the top 3 without question. I mean, looking at the way the drivers were scoring points, I mean that speed was freakish to get to that 126 mark. And I got to say, credit to the drivers for getting to that point. But it certainly seems to me that if you're around that point in the time stamps, you are going to be at the top of the grid to start this Grand Prix. It'd be interesting to see what these guys can bring to the table. I mean, naturally, all of them quality drivers, a lot of them extremely good at what they do, and we'll look forward to seeing what these guys can bring now as we head into the start of qualifying. We're just going to bring you coverage now, guys, as we head towards the track here at the Suzuka circuit. And as you can see, the drivers warming up the cars. You can see the early birds coming out of the pit lane now. What do you think? Who do you think's going to strike first, Maku?
It's McLaren. It's Sven Zerner or Simon.
We're just seeing now Sven Zerner coming out of the pit lane now for McLaren. So he'll be the first to put a time on the board. Obviously, the best chance now in terms of traffic, but naturally it takes a little bit of time for the track to warm up here at Suzuka, as does any track when you go around. Just to say, guys, in the midst of the outlaps, we will just adjust the settings, because obviously I think it was met with some controversy with my camera options, so we'll move it back to the way it was. So there we go, there we are for you guys. Sven Zerner now back with the standard driver cam that we've all been looking for as we watch Sven Zerner make his way around, heading towards the famous hairpin bend. And as he does so, careful on the braking. You want to almost quick shift from 1 up to 2 on the exit of that curve, Maku?
Yeah, maybe a little bit. I mean, it's only his outlap, so he doesn't need all of the possible grip. But yeah, also it's a nice tool to avoid some oversteer.
It certainly is. I mean, naturally, things you can get away with in the F1 2019 esports video game, and it certainly separates it totally. You know, it's a different challenge, obviously, from real Formula 1 racing, but still no less pressure, because naturally these guys are the best at what they do, a lot of them, and there's a lot of pressure on each other to try and get to the top spot here at Suzuka as we watch Sven Zerner come around. He's about to start his flying lap, so we'll just go through the circuit as they make their way down, Maku. Do you want to talk us through his first lap?
Yeah, but first thing I noticed that he didn't activate his DRS in the straight. At least my game showed it that he didn't. But yeah, he's now going down into the S's, left, right, then another left, right combination, down into fifth and stay in that gear around that corner. And then we turn in again onto a nearly straight, and then shortly we should be breaking down a little bit into a fast corner and into the corner under the other part of the circuit. Then closing into the hairpin again, down into first gear, then very fast up into the next gear, passing in the half, then approaching the corner we've talked about before, spoon, going through down into fifth and even further into fourth, and now accelerating out onto the straight, carrying as much as speed as possible down to 130R, one of the most dangerous corners, carrying speed down to the KZO chicane, and now to the as I said, I was wondering why he hadn't activated his DRS.
Yeah, quite interesting. Naturally, he's going to eat through those tyres. No doubt he's going to put a fresh set on. But we're just looking at the times now. Kamil Komon, once again, just like we started in the previous qualifying session that we had, Kamil Komon notching up a 126.867. This is a different beast, Maku, in this Toro Rosso. Kamil Komon, who I have commentated on in AOR previously, has come out here today and notched himself on a P2 with CRG Simon, no less. The other McLaren driver puts himself on P1, Maku, with a 126.771. We're seeing the 126s now.
Yeah, 134 by Tritton matches. Yeah, I think that was just kind of aborted lap. He's surely trying this again. But yeah, already 2 times in the 126, and I think we will surely see another from Speedberry and maybe from Sven Zerner or maybe even Famous. But yeah, let's see.
Well, Speed Barry has just notched himself up to top spot now with a 126.682. Absolutely phenomenal that once again. Puts him on P1. I'm just watching now Arsene Kardanov now, who's coming up towards Spoon Curve. And he's really pushing his Alfa Romeo around this bend. No question, he's looking for a good quality lap here as he makes his exit now, heading down towards the 130R. You can see Napadovsky. Can he use the drag off the back of this wing? Can he pull his car along to get a bit of extra pace, heading down towards the final chicane as he makes his way down? He has got just ahead of it the Casio triangle there, and he takes it really well. Exit now, dead ahead, makes his way down towards the last curve, and soon he'll enter the straight, leading over across the finish line. What's it going to be for the Alfa Romeo? Arsene Kardanov's going to post himself on to, well, it still looks like he's on P13 there with a 127.478. Could not improve there, Maku.
Yeah, but it's also hard to improve these times.
It is tough. I mean, naturally, the 127s, we're now, I mean, separating these guys now. I mean, we would have said that 127.478 is a reasonably quick time, and naturally, these guys, all of them, within tenths of a second of each other, and literally pulling off some really excellent times in between them. I mean, looking further up there, like you said, VSR Famous currently on a 127.079. On any other day, that could have been a P1 lap if you went to any other league. But you look at some of these drivers, just shows the quality we have here at ORL, and naturally brings out the best in all these drivers. It's so brilliant to see.
Yeah.
Just looking further down, naturally still some drivers that are still yet to pick their first laps. I mean, Sven Zerner currently out after he voided his first lap. He's currently coming out here in his fast lap now, heading down towards the quick right-hander, which is in fact called the Degner. He comes out of the Degner now, heading towards the hairpin, and the McLaren there of Sven Zerner looking to improve on his previous performance as he makes his way around now. He's currently in P4 of the championships, as we've already said there, in the orange McLaren, making his way up now round the 200R, and very soon he'll be tackling the spoon curve as well, the iconic spoon curve, and a little bit of the back end there, but no, it's okay. He's looking pretty solid. Just eats up a little bit of gravel there, the kitty litter, as Murray Walker used to say, as he makes his way down the back stretch heading towards the 130R, and very soon he'll be faced with the Casio Triangle himself. You can see the Husky Chocolate sponsor on the back of the McLaren as he makes his way round the Casio Triangle. The last curve just dead ahead. What's it going to be? The Svensson is pit lane again, Maku. He just can't seem. He's not happy about something. He just can't seem to get it right.
He just constantly wants to scam us.
Yeah, I know. I got to say, I'm not sure what he's trying to do. Maybe add a bit of suspense to the qualifying session. We've still got 10 minutes left to go, Mike, so he's got plenty of time left.
Yeah, but I think in this lap you saw that he was pretty wide at spoon, so basically, or I think he aborted because of that, to have enough time for another try.
Certainly, absolutely. As we see now, Hayes is out and about as well in the Red Bull. Speed Barry's teammate, and obviously looking to follow suit and try and get his car up into the top order of this classification. He makes his way down towards spoon curve himself, and he just brushes that curve on the inset and does extremely well. So a lot of pace being carried by this Red Bull car now as he heads down the backstretch leading towards the 130R. The iconic corner, like we said, if you get it wrong, very precarious, and could easily find yourself in the barriers. He makes his way around, just brushes the curves there on the way around, leading towards the Casio Triangle. And this man certainly isn't going to be calling it a day on this lap as he makes his way down round the final curve and makes his way down towards the stretch, comes across the line in P6. So it looks like Red Bull currently P1 and P6, Maku. Good start from them.
But he has the same time as Infamous.
He certainly does. You are quite right indeed. A 127.079 matches the Renault of VSR Infamous. Absolutely phenomenal. And God, it's very rare you see something like that. I seem to remember back years and years ago, there was a qualifying session where Heinz-Harald Frenz and Jacques Villeneuve, and as well as I think it was Michael Schumacher, that all posted the same times in one of the qualifying sessions. And once again, we're seeing it again with Hayes and Infamous on P6 and 7 matching each other's qualifying sessions. And Jarno Watmir is not far off them either with a 127.055, Maku.
Yes, he is a one. Yeah, of course. But yeah, all these guys down in the lower 127s maybe even have a chance with maybe some slipstream or something like that to get into the 126s. I mean, they have time, and I think all of them have enough tires left, and at least it's worth a try.
Certainly is. Now following VSR Jake, who's currently on his flying lap right now, making his way around the next lot of bends, and he'll very soon, I think. This might well be a cooldown lap because he has used a lot of the DRS. We'll just look further down because Steve is currently out on his out lap as well, making his way down. Ferrari currently this season not having the best of runs at the moment. Currently 4 points in the constructors' standings, P9 in the the constructors' championship. A major chance to improve, Maku.
From whom?
From the Ferrari team.
Both of them. I think they have, they have a little room up. Foden was last season's winner. But yeah, with a lot of new drivers, a lot of top-level new drivers. Yeah, certainly got some real challenge. Currently in 8th, so I think he'll be getting some points today. And Stefan hasn't had a lap yet, so but still, I think. Both of them will be able to get at least some points today, and that should bring up the Ferrari team a little bit.
Yeah, Photon, obviously very unfortunate at the start of this season. He is a quick driver, and we know a lot about Photon. He drives in a lot of respected league, and certainly is a driver not to be reckoned with, because he certainly is a quality driver on his day. Currently saying, like you say, well, he's now in P9, and naturally on course to get points if he stays where he is at least. Ferrari looking for some key points, currently lying, like I said, in P9 in the championship, so this is a great opportunity for them to really stamp their authority on this classification and maybe get themselves some points as well. as we now watch Steve making his way down the backstretch heading towards the 130R. And as he drives down towards the Casio Triangle, will he manage to put his Ferrari up the grid order as he makes his way down? Speed Barry currently RP1 with a 126.535. Steve comes in the pit lane, not happy with the lap that has been set already. And no doubt we'll see him again with only 5 minutes, just over 5 minutes remaining, Maku. And we're reaching squeaky bum time.
Yep. And Sven Zerner just finally set a lap, a 127.021. But I still think, I don't know if it's a bug from the game, but it still looks like that he wasn't activating his DRS on the first straight, so maybe there are a few tenths getting him into the 126.
Maybe. I mean, it would be the first time we've seen a bug tonight with the F1 game, unfortunately. But as you say, not everything's perfect. It's the wonders of technology, folks. As we watch Zones now make his way around the spoon curve. Zones having a good qualifying session, currently on P4. Maku Haas not doing too badly. They're finally notching some points together. Currently in P8 ahead of Ferrari and Racing Point. And this is also a great opportunity for them. Obviously Haas sport in Ferrari engines. Hopefully not painting a similar picture as the Ferrari constructor as they make their way around the Casio Triangle. We're just watching Zones come round towards the final backstretch, and he comes into the pit lane as well. So obviously not happy with his time either. As we look further down, a lot of the drivers in the pits now, so relatively quiet out on circuit as we now see Hayes, who's one of the few setting faster laps. Calcifer also out on a fast lap as well, as we now watch Hayes make his way around the initial bends of Japan. Are you a fan of Japanese food at all, Maku?
No, not really. Especially sushi is not my thing because I'm not really into fish. So yeah, you can get me with that.
Not even a good old British fish and chips or anything like that.
I have to say I've never really ate really British fish and chips.
You never have? Oh,
no.
You're in for a treat. It's great. It's lovely. Obviously a delicacy here in Britain that we love and enjoy. As we now watch Hayes make his way around the spoon curve, you'll see him heading on to the back stretch towards the 130R, and Red Bull looking to get yet another car further up the table. He comes down towards that 130R curve, and he just brushes the curve there, takes it well, heads towards the Casio Triangle, and it's looking promising here from Hayes at the moment. He comes round and heads round towards the final curve. Dead ahead. Oh no, he's coming into the pit lane once again, Maku. A lot of these guys, I think they must know we're watching them, and
and then they're going into the pit.
We're getting stitched up, Maku. Getting stitched up.
Yeah.
As we look further down, the SR Jake currently making his way around. He's in sector 1 right now, and hopefully this time he'll be looking to set a fast lap. Just watching Jake now around these initial few bends. As you can see, the Red Bull slowing down there. That looks like that must be Speed Barry's car that's making his way around on an outlap, heading down towards up towards the hairpin bend. So you can see the two Renaults. They've got themselves a good little team working relationship going here, Maku, because it looks like they could be using the toe here.
Yeah, as well did Napadovsky, at least looked like, by a oh my god, a Alfa Romeo. What's it called today? Is it? I'm like. Alfa Romeo. I'm like I don't know what's going on today. Got a little bit of a toe from Alfa Romeo. I don't know if it was Calcifer or Cardinal. But yeah, he is now a 126.677, so he's now in third on the grid.
Well, we're just watching Jake now come round through the Casio Triangle, naturally looking to post a faster lap as he makes his way across the line. It's P12 for the Renault driver with a 127.161. A good time indeed, a very respectable time, and that puts the Renault in the midfield as well, Maku. So P8 and P12 for both Renaults respectfully.
And we've still no time from Steve. He's in an outlet now, but yeah, it's a little late with just 1.5 minutes left.
Certainly is. Just looking down now, Cameron Common, he's about to. Well, I think he's staying out on another outlap. I think because he's turned the DRS off, not using any DRS, maybe looking to go around again. maybe not happy with that initial lap set. We're now within the final minute of qualifying here, and we're now looking here. Infamous, Jake's teammate, now on his fast lap as he heads round towards the 200R. What can the other Renault do as he makes his way around past that McLaren? Which looks like it could be either Sven Zerner or Simon. Both of them are on outlaps as well as they make their way around Spoon. And we're just watching the Renault here. Oh, BSR Infamous. Oh, a little bit of shakiness going through the exit of Spoon there, Maku. Do you think that could cost him a tyre? I think his teammate held him up a bit there as well.
I've not seen it. I was watching Cardinal during his round. Yeah, could have been. It's always, as I've seen on the menu, it's a little bit tight back there. A lot of drivers nearly the same spots on the track.
Well, Infamous goes quicker because he's now in P4 with a 1:26.757, improves on his P8 time, and he's got to be happy with that, and takes that spot on the second row of the grid, partnering up with Napadovsky, who is currently in the pits. Kamil Coman, though, coming round after completing one lap, but it looks like he's not going to get another one in, as we now see Speed Barry, who's out on his fast lap. Surely he can't go quicker again, and it looks like he is slowing down. And we're now looking further out. Jana Watmir currently on his fast lap now as well, making his way towards the hairpin bend here on his fast lap. He's in sector 2 at the moment, Maku. Are we going to be seeing some late drama here in qualifying as we see Jano coming round the 200R? What do you reckon? Could we be in line for an improvement here?
It's pretty tricky. I don't know. Could be. Maybe he has now his lap.
Well, bear with us, folks, because we could be in for a corker as they make their way round the back stretch now, heading towards the 130R. Jana Watmir currently showing up with a 110 in sector 2. We'll obviously see how it unfolds as we head towards the end of this fast lap, coming down towards the Casio Triangle now, and he takes it well, takes a lot of the curves there, and it looks like this could be a quick time as he makes his way around, coming towards the line. Is it going to be drama? It's P5 for the Mercedes of Jana Watmir, so he'll be featuring on the third row of the grid. Bernardo Perez in P3 of all places for the Williams team, and he partners up Kamil Coman, who's in P4. The McLaren, of CRG Simon on P2. He improves and takes second spot here to put McLaren at the front of the grid alongside Speed Barry. A good day for McLaren, Maku.
Yeah, we have Simon in second and Zerner in 10th, so yeah. And I think Zerner is always someone you can count on in fighting up to the front, so yeah, let's see what they can pull out in the race.
I mean, certainly Sven Zerner, I would say he is more of a race driver, I would say, rather than a qualifying driver. I mean, certainly at Bahrain we saw his prowess. If he hadn't had the puncture, he would have been well up there with the final 3. Or the final 4, really, I suppose you could say. But what a qualifying session, Maku. Certainly never short of drama here in ORL. We do see lots of incredible moments here. And would you like to go through the final stand-ins?
Yeah, let's look at them. So we have Speed Barry sitting in pole with a 126.4. Right behind him, Simon, or right alongside him in his McLaren. And then we have Bernardo Perez and Kamil Coman next to each other. In 5th with Jarno in his Mercedes alongside with Williams of Napadovsky. Then Infamous in 7th with his Haas and Zone. Infamous with his Renault and Zones with his Haas in 8th. Hayes in 9th, the second Red Bull. Sven Zerner as the second McLaren in 10th. Foden and Ferrari in 11th. Leonard in 12th. And further I couldn't get, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we can certainly go through the drivers here on the formation lap of this Suzuka Grand Prix here at Suzuka. The Japanese Grand Prix about to start here, and I hope you're all enjoying it there at home. Just to say, leave your comments below as to who you think is going to be coming out on top here at Suzuka. Please put your tips for driver of the day as well towards the end of the race. We always like to see your comments, and look forward to bringing you yet again more racing action here on the ORL Racing channel. Please drop a subscribe and a like to the video as well, and also comment on what a good job me and Maku are doing as well. Isn't that right, Maku?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, we'll certainly do our best. Actually, obviously, apologies for the issues we had earlier, folks. We've managed to battle through the technical problems, and we're about to bring you this Japanese Grand Prix. I mean, naturally looking forward to seeing what Speed Barry can do. Can he reclaim his P1 spot in the championship after Jarno Opmeer took it away from him last week after that superb win at Britain? And I'm sure the drama will be no less than wild here at Suzuka as we now watch them exit their spots on the grid and head into the formation lap. Maku, would you like to take us through that grid order again?
Yeah, so we'll see. We're just seeing Speedberry leading the field through Suzuka. Right behind him is Simon in his McLaren, then Bernardo Perez and Kamil Koman in fourth. Jarno Opmeer in fifth, Napadovsky down in sixth, Infamous in seventh. In eighth is following Zones. After that is the second Red Bull, Hayes, and the second McLaren in 10th, Sven Zerner. And in 11th, the first one with free tire choice, Fodon, then Lennart and Jake. In 14th with Alvaro Aznar, then in 15th Arsene Kardanov, right behind Calcifer, Kardanov's teammate in Alfa Romeo. In 17th with Krusix and Matthews as the second Mercedes. In 18th, Brownie in 19th, and Stiff with rounding up the grid.
And that rounds off the grid here for this Japanese Grand Prix. As we see Speed Barry make his way around Spoon Curve, the iconic Spoon Curve yet again. Surely he must be thinking in his head that he's got to try his best to try and notch himself yet another win here this season. It's not going to be easy because you've got some very big names here on track. With the likes of Bernardo Perez still up there, Kamil Koman obviously looking formidable in qualifying. Jarno Opmeer, of course, not a stranger to Grand Prix wins. Napadovsky obviously there as well. Infamous obviously battling at the top end of the championship, looking to obviously get some more points for the Renault team as well, with Sven Zerner in P10 as well. But many drivers on this grid can claim serious points here today at Suzuka as we now watch these drivers make their way towards the grid order here for this Japanese Grand Prix. Who do you think is going to win, folks? 26 people in the live chat right now. Make yourselves heard and show your support here. Put a hashtag in there. Should we put something fun in there? Should we put hashtag ORL in the chat box to show that you're alive and kicking here in the chat? And let's get ready for the off here at the Japanese Grand Prix. It's going to be great, folks. Keep it with us here. Just watching a few of the rest line up here. And first light, second light, third light, fourth light, the fifth light! And it's pedal to the metal, go, 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 go! Speed Barry gets away well, but so does Simon on the inside there, as you can see behind him, Bernardo Perez trying to fight off Kamil Koman as they make their way round towards the initial bend, and it looks like Perez has taken that early advantage. Kamil Koman down to P4, VSR Infamous up to P5, great start from the Renault. CRG Napadovsky moves up to P6 there for Williams. Jarno Opmeer just slipping behind Sven Zerner with a great start. P8 for the McLaren Maku. What a start indeed for the McLaren driver.
Yeah, the front rows haven't really changed, but the McLaren driver really got up to place as well as Infamous, and Jarno unfortunately lost two already. But yeah, let's see what is going on else on this first lap of the race.
Well, looking further down,
I
Steve.
think Leonard or Krusix battling a little bit.
Yeah, just looking now, Steve is actually looking for a way around the Ferrari of Steve as we see a knock there on Krusix. He unfortunately took a little bit of a bash off Alvaro Aznar, I think, of the Toro Rosso, and that leaves him exposed there to the Mercedes of Triton Mathias, who is now all over the back end of that, all over the back end of Krusix, shall I say, who has now knocked himself up with the P17 now of all places. Krusix not having the best of starts. I think we've just seen some kitty litter flying all over the place there as Alvaro Aznar drops down a place to Steve, he's having a battle with the Ferrari there is Alvaro Aznar, and obviously the positions remain the same, but just looking further up now, VSR Infamous currently battling on the back end of Kamil Koman. As you say, not a lot changing at the front, Maku, and CRG Simon managing to maintain that P2 as well, so a good start from him. But obviously I'd say McLaren probably the early beneficiaries. Sven Zerner moving up 2 places as well as Simon holding on to his P2, showing to be a good start from them.
Yeah, it looks like a good start and looks like a good result for McLaren as long as they can pull this until the end of the race.
Certainly will. Kamil Koman coming into view of VSR Infamous only 210 separating these two as they make their way down towards the right-hander, which is the Degners now, heading towards the hairpin bend, where they've got a little bit of a climb to make, leading up towards that rounded hairpin, which you can see now. Just looking further up, Camel come on here in the league, really showing his prowess here in qualifying, and actually no doubt has a point to prove. And I'm sure we'll see more of him. He's got 8 points in the Drivers' Championship right now, and a very formidable driver. I remember him certainly in AOR. He was extremely quick, and I have absolutely no surprises to see him here. He's a very committed esports racing driver, certainly when it comes to Formula 1. It's a very big passion of his, like it is for many on the circuit, but no doubt we'll see more from Camel Common here today. He's currently 4 tenths behind Bernardo Perez, who as well had a great start for the Williams team. He was starting on the second row of the grid, and Camel Common will no doubt be doing battle right through here. Speed Barry notches together yet another fastest lap here, obviously the first one being the second lap. Naturally, you'll always have a fastest lap at that point, but Speed Barry managing to notch together that early fastest lap here in lap 3 now of 27. The DRS will become available now to these drivers as they make their way around the initial part of this circuit. Just looking further down now, Jarno Watmir all the way back in P7, just currently notching together his way onto the back end of that Williams of Napadovsky. And what are your thoughts on Jarno Watmir's start? He's managed to well, he'll obviously be looking to recover after that dodgy start, Maku.
Yeah, he needs to recover because he's obviously fighting for the championship, and his rivals are both further up in the places. So Speedberry and Infamous. That means I think Speedberry is 6 points behind him. So basically, in this position now, Speedberry, and I think no, Infamous not, but Speedberry would re-overtake him in the championship. So yeah, he needs to fight that order up to be able to maintain that lead.
Certainly will. He's got Sven Zerner all over the back of him. Sven Zerner having a great start, as we said earlier, from the grid positions, making his way up to P8 no less, and he's got to be happy with that as he makes his way down towards the Casio Triangle chicane. You can see Jarno Watmir just ahead of him there. Still a long way to go here, folks. 27 laps of racing here. We are just into lap 3, going into lap 4 now. And as you can see, the DRS became active last lap. You just see Sven Zerner with it on now. The activation point there in the bottom right-hand corner. As we see the McLaren there chasing down. I was saying there's a bit of a gap forming here between that of the Haas and Sven Zerner at the moment there, Maku. Just over, Zone's the Haas driver, about a second behind Sven Zerner now. So we can certainly see a couple of groups forming right about now.
Yeah, and even Hayes is even further back. He's nearly 2.5 seconds behind Zone, so there's a big gap already. You can see he's on the minimap too. Yeah, those two, what this will mean for the race.
Well, it looks like we've had some activity further back as Leonard has dropped down to P20. I'm not sure what happened there, but he seemed to have jumped from P17 down to P20. I'm not sure what happened to him as such, whether that was a game glitch, I'm not sure.
Yeah, Jarno tries a little bit on Napadovsky into spoon.
He certainly does, and he's not the only one. He is having a gun there, and in behind Sven Zerner, watching all this unfold, we could yet see a 3-wide move here as Jarno Watmir makes the move on Napadovsky, heading down the 130 yards. Sven Zerner looking for a way through as they make their way down. They're nearly going 3 wide. I can't believe Jarno has managed to hold these two off as they make their way down to the Casio Triangle, and the Williams coming into play once again. Napadovsky not having any of it, and he gets relegated 2 places, Maku, 2 places. With now Sven Zerner moving up to P7. We said he was a race driver, not a quali driver, and he's proving that here right now.
Yeah, he already moved up 3 places, and I think he's looking for even more. Of course, he tries to get in front of Jarno to gain some points in the championship, to be able to fight with the first 2.
Well, he hasn't broken much of that ERS at all. He's got 76% showing in that car right now as they make their way through the initial snake section of the circuit and head towards the Dunlop curve now. And you can see Jarno Watmir just ahead of Sven Zerner right now. Sven Zerner, like you say, Maku, not content with staying in P7. I'm sure he'll be paying for blood out there as he makes his way through the Degners, heading up now towards the hairpin bend. And I'm sure we'll be seeing more battling here as we see Jarno Watmir just in front of that McLaren. Napadovsky not far behind as well. The Williams driver gunning behind Sven Turner, naturally looking to get his place back. 3/10 separating these two, with also zones coming into play for the Haas. He's currently 4/10 behind the Williams. I think we've lost Steve as well there, Maku. I think he must have had an accident.
Yeah, I think so, but I'm not sure where. Someone went off the grid. I'm not sure what happened.
Well, just looking down the 130R now, VSR and Famous all over the back of Bernardo Perez. They make their way around the Casio triangle, and that Williams is looking a bit exposed now because the DRS is loading up, and VSR and Famous punches it now, and he crashes down round the straight, and he goes past Bernardo Perez there on the outside and takes P3 here in this race. A podium spot here for Infamous. Renault looking strong. The VSR Jake down in P13. A lot more to prove as we see Arsene Kardanov move up to P10, overtaking Hayes, the Red Bull driver, knocking down to P11. But what a great move there from Infamous there, Maku.
Oh, and Matches went for pits. I think maybe because of a little incident with Brownie, I think was it. He touched Brownie overtook on the during 130R, and maybe he touched a little bit the front wing. So yeah, that could be his race.
Yes, unfortunately there we've lost Kruzic and Steve in this race. That's two DNFs here at the Japanese Grand Prix. We said it could be a cruel circuit, and it's certainly shown that today as Kruzic has indeed left the session. And that's really unfortunate. Never nice to see DNFs in a race, whether it's esports or real racing. But I'm sure we'll get a lot more out of the drivers we have on circuit. As we look further up now, CRG Simon still on the back of speed. Barry Maku, he's not letting the Red Bull go without a fight.
Yeah, he won't be. So, as we could see in the qualifying times, he was like, I think 2/10 or something, 200ths or something slower than Steve Barry, and as does it show here in the race. And yeah, I think we'll see later on the battle for the lead there. And yeah,
we've just seen now Napadovsky has come into the pit lane as well. Whether he's just get a tyre change. As we see Napadovsky drop down the pitch. Do you reckon he's used a lot of the grip on those tyres already? I mean, we are 6 laps in, and I suppose we are reaching the point now where the medium compound will come into play for the soft tyre users at the start of this Grand Prix. So maybe in the next lap we'll start seeing some pit stops.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if the medium tyre will last 20 laps if the soft tyre just lasts like 6 or 7.
Just
so,
interesting that he's taken that earlier stop though, it's a bit strange, isn't it?
Yeah. They either are going to pit 2 times, or they make a miracle work and somehow get these mediums 20 laps, or we will see them pit later, like lap 20, lap 10, lap 20, of course, lap 10 or something.
Yeah, we're just watching now Photon all over the back end of SHZ Hayes. The Red Bull driver under increasing pressure from the Ferrari driver. VSR Jake not far behind Photon as well, so we've got a bit of a, well, you could say a four-way tussle, because Alvaro Aznar, they're creeping in behind that Renault right now of VSR Jake as they head down towards the 130R after the back stretch. As you can see them whip round that corner like no tomorrow there as they make their way down towards the Casio Triangle chicane. And as you can see, Photon getting ever closer as we see Hayes dive into the pit lane. Once again, 2 pit stops yet again with zones going in as well as that of Hayes. These soft tyres obviously not lasting the time, Maku. So we could be seeing, what do you reckon, 2 stop strategies?
Yeah, could be interesting because different strategies always make races interesting, but also a little bit weird, you know, because you can't really see who will be leading in the end, because some people need to make stops and some don't.
Well, Photon currently just over 2.5 seconds behind Arsene Kardanov, who is now 5.5 seconds behind that Sven Turner. So quite a gap showing in the midfield now, as we can see now. Arsene Kardanov coming up towards the hairpin bend. Obviously, seconds may not seem like a lot in real life, but in the context of F1, it is considered quite a bit of time, because naturally these cars go in at increasing speeds of well over 180 miles per hour, as we could see there. Arsene Kardanov coming around the 200R at 185 there, coming round the spoon curve now, keeping that car on the track, trying not to lose it on the exit, and he does it perfectly. Comes down onto the back stretch, heading towards the 130R, and he is one of the last of the top 10 on the soft tyres. Well, the last of the list of drivers on soft tyres in the top 10 right now. The Speed Barry dives in the pit lane. We're seeing a few stops now at the top end of the classifications now, Maku.
Yeah, so let's see. I don't think so they can last these mediums until the end, but yeah, let's see how this works out and what the others will do, because we also have some people starting in mediums. So yeah.
Well, CRG Simon now in the lead of the race. Obviously, net pit stops at the moment. He is 2.7 seconds ahead of Bernardo Perez right now. If he can make the one stop work, I mean, I'm not sure how much he can get off those soft tyres. If he can achieve that, that would be a monumental feat if he can. And certainly it'd be interesting to see what his strategy would be like in comparison to, say, that of Speed Barry's, who has now gone into the pits to put the medium compound on. So let's see who does it better. I mean, that is the question. Could it be a case that the strategy wins here today, Maku?
Yeah, it could certainly be. We'll have to see. So, is it possible to stop soft hard? Or do you have to put on the medium tire at least one time in the race?
Well, I suppose it's a question of grip, isn't it? I mean, naturally, the harder tyre is not carrying as much grip as the softer compounds, and certainly, I wouldn't certainly want to be driving around the 130R with hard compound tyres on.
Yeah, of course, yeah, that's the other thing. But in some races, or in every race, one tire is complementary, so you have to use it.
You certainly do. Yes, you do.
And but I don't know which one it is here. So yeah, let's see what the front row will do. Simon is pivoting to the mediums, so yeah.
Yeah, he's just come out now. Lap 9, he's managed to achieve 9 laps on the soft tyres, so well done him for doing that. But naturally, obviously the other drivers are going to be coming into play. As you can see, Sven Zerner now on top of the order at the moment. Obviously still yet to pit as well. We have quite a series of drivers that are yet to pit to make their first stops yet. That being Brownie, Leonard Calcifer, Alvaro Aznar, Jake and Photon still yet to make their pit stops. Naturally, they started a lot of them on the medium tyres, so can obviously get a lot more tyre life out of their initial stints out on track as they make their way around now. Alvaro Aznar coming up towards the hairpin bend. He's got Jake just in front of him now. We've got a series of cars here. These three have been pretty much together, the likes of Photon, Jake and Alvaro Aznar. I mean, a pretty close contest for quite some time. We see Speed Barry overtake Leonard now, and Speed Barry obviously on those fresh mediums, showing he has got plenty of pace, and coming out in P6, that is showing to be good form, and no doubt the way things are set right now, he has got the advantage over Simon, Maku.
Yeah, he certainly does. Yeah, let's what the other drivers will do, especially the medium drivers. How long can they pull out their mediums? Because then we can tell the other one will need to stop on again, or if they can drive all the way through.
A little look, sneaky look at the stop details. Actually, I mean, obviously a lot of these drivers on stops. We're just going to have a look at some of the position changes as well, because naturally, obviously, with strategies coming into play, it's interesting to see where these drivers have pitched themselves. You can see the guys at the top of the order who are still yet to pit, naturally coming from quite a way down in the classification. Sven Zerner from P9 up to P1, obviously. Photon up to P2 from P9. Jake from P10 up to P3, Alvaro Aznar P10 to P4, Calcifer P11 to P5. Speed Barry's dropped down 5 places, but naturally he'll make those back easily after his initial pit stop. He's already cut down that time, Maku, and he is only just over 2.5 seconds behind Calcifer. That is some real incredible pace.
Yeah, but he needs to keep this up, and maybe he can even get some drag of Calcifer on through 130R and so on. But yeah, let's see. He still needs to make this overtake if he doesn't need that long that the medium drivers are pitting.
No, he certainly doesn't. I mean, obviously you can take it easy and not push the car too hard and obviously around a circuit like this, it can make a mistake. As Jarno Opmeer has overtaken Brownie now as they make their way down towards Casio Triangle, and he's managing to push his way through the grid order now. Jarno Opmeer currently on 2-lap all medium tyres, and he's trying to pull himself closer towards VSR Famous, who's only a second ahead of him now. As we now look, a lot of chopping and changing going on here, because CRG Simon now going ahead now. Leonard in P9, he had a double overtake there. Simon and Infamous overtaking Leonard in the racing point. So these guys keen to whittle their way through this grid order as quickly as possible. CRG Simon now behind Speed Barry, so you could say now P6 onwards is the actual net lead of the Grand Prix, if you consider the fact that Speed Barry, Simon and Infamous currently have already pitted, and these guys naturally making up the top end of the championship, though Simon subbing in, I think, obviously for Simon V Gang, who is unfortunately not able to be here this evening, and Speed Barry naturally P2 in the championship, but naturally this could all change after the end of this Grand Prix, though Jarno Opmeer is currently leading the way in net P4, I suppose, currently in P9 out on track. It certainly will make interesting telling, Maku. Lots going on the circuit. Still Sven Cerner yet to pit. It looks like he might be actually trying to do the two-stop strategy. One-stop strategy, sorry.
What's it?
You're saying that Sven Cerner could actually be trying to do the one-stop strategy?
Yeah, sure. Looks like it, because 12 laps out of softs, they sure be dead as hell, but yeah, let's see. Surely he can now switch onto the mediums. Should last to the end, I think. 15 laps should be able to do. Look at Speed Barry.
Yeah, I've just been corrected in the chat as well. Sorry, Maku. CRG Simon is in fact Simon V Gang, so do apologise, folks. Naturally, his tag has changed slightly from Belgium, because Belgium did say Simon V Gang, so do apologise.
Yeah, I thought he was somebody else too, but of course it's
Simon is Simon. Yeah.
Actually, it's logical. So
it is logical. I feel a bit stupid now, to be honest.
Yeah, me too.
They made their way right now. Jarno Opmeer still currently maintaining the gap of 2.2 seconds behind CRG Simon. Naturally, sorry, Maku, you were saying, as we see Calcifer overtaken by Speed Barry, heading round the hairpin bend. Speed Barry eating his way through the track, Maku.
Yeah. But we saw this overtake coming, as you said previously, that Calcifer was really getting closer to Calcifer, and Simon is as well, so that should be the next overtake. And they're fighting back up. Alvaro Asna is just like 7/10 up, and that's the next one to catch for Speed Barry. And I think then he'll soon will be leading the race.
Well, he is 12 seconds now, Speed Barry, off the race leader, and that is Sven Cerner. Sven Cerner, of course, still yet to pit, and he's, well, in fact, he's come in now, so you should see where he comes out now. He's just come into his pit lane. He's come into his pit box now, and it looks like Speed Barry might have the better of him here as he comes down the circuit. It'll be interesting to see what happens as he comes out, and he is still yet to exit the lane. As you can see, Jarno Opmeer going ahead of him now as well. But let's see what Sven Cerner can do here, because naturally he could well be looking to stay out on track on these medium tyres, and with him having a fresh compound on, it could see him, as soon as he gets the heat into them, getting a little bit more pace than those ahead of him, Maku.
Yeah, of course, and let's see what the medium drivers are now doing, because they're now 13 laps out on these tires, and I think you can really do more than 14 or 15, or you shouldn't, but we've already seen that they've lost a lot of pace, but let's see when they go into the pits.
Certainly will. Just looking further up though, obviously now Photon is leading the race, though still yet to pit. As you can see, Speed Barry though 2.5 seconds behind Alvaro Asnar, and he'll soon be catching up with those three drivers. Still currently a string going on between the likes of Photon, Jake and Alvaro Asnar. Very closely gapped together between these three, and they're on 13 lap old mediums, and the way things are set right now, if Speed Barry can overtake them, he will take the official lead of this Grand Prix, and he'll have Calcifer behind him for this moment in time. But Simon is closing the gap on the back of Calcifer, and very soon we could be seeing him move up into an official P5 position, as we see Simon now 3/10 away as Sven Cerner overtakes Napadovsky there on the 130R stretch, and as they make their way through the Casio Triangle, the McLaren driver notches himself up to P12, only 2 places away from the points now, Matthew.
Yeah, I think he will fight up again, because he has has the advantage of either having one pit stop less or having the better tires at the end.
He certainly does. The CRG Simon, he overtook Calcifer there as well, heading down towards the Casio Triangle, and very soon he'll be making his way around the snake section. Well, he's come out the snake section now, around the Dunlop curve, very soon to be reaching the Degners, the double right-handers. These are relatively quick corners that you've got to make sure you get right, because if one wrong move and you can spin off the track, as we now watch CRG Simon make his way up towards the hairpin bend. Speed Barry just ahead of him, albeit though by over 1.5 seconds. And he is currently whittling that time down between him and Alvaro Aznar. But Speed Barry knows that he doesn't have to push too hard, because naturally the guys ahead of him still yet to pit. So Fonton and Jake and Alvaro Aznar, currently the only drivers out on track, as well as Calcifer and Brownie, to make a pit stop here. Mako, any thoughts and feelings on the race so far? Any eye catches?
Oh yeah, nothing really. I think it's just interesting that this is, I think, the first race where, I don't know, maybe Silverstone was also a strategy race. I think that then this will be the second race where strategy is really important. And yeah, let's see what Sven Zerner can make out of his strategy, and let's see what the others can do with theirs. We've not seen that much overtakes as on the other tracks. But yeah, I think it's still an interesting race.
It certainly is, and as you can see, we've got another string of cars pretty much, with Bernardo Perez, Jarno Otmir, Camille Commons there as well, and VSR in Fame is currently leading a contingent of these drivers around. Currently in P6 is in Famous, and he's currently leading around Jarno Otmir, Bernardo Perez and Camille Common up through the next few bends, leading up out of the Degners, heading towards the hairpin bend now. And Jarno currently looking to really close the gap on Infamous at the moment. Only 7/10 separating them, though he did get as close as 3/10 leading into the home stretch. So there's every chance that we could be yet seeing a shake-up in the top three, because Jarno Otmir really looking to get as close as he can to the back of that Renault as we come round the spoon curve now. Very soon he'll have a chance. It's a shame they don't have DRS coming down towards the 130R, because naturally it would be an ideal place to get yourself an overtake. Naturally too dangerous to include that, obviously, going around that 130R bend. Otherwise you could find yourself into the wall. As we see the silver arrows of Jarno Otmir being closely guarded here by Bernardo Perez. Bernardo Perez having a good race as well. Currently in P8, he's got Camille Common just behind him. Sven Zerner has moved up yet another place and has made his way up into P10. And not only that, he is 1.2 seconds behind that of the leaders now. As we now see, all the ones that haven't pitted yet now go in onto the soft tyres, Maku.
Yeah, I am. So mediums last about 16 laps. That's what we know. Maybe 17 because they started on mediums, or 18. But we now see Speed Barry closing in on Jake with the fresher mediums, and I think a little bit more speed, of course. But let's look how he does this overtake maneuver. Well, maybe already down to hairpin. Looks like it. Down the inside, quickly passes him and is now in second.
Yeah, an excellent move there from Speed Barry, yet again, almost elementary as he makes his way around the 200R. He has got Alvaro Aznar just separating him from P1 right now. Speed Barry having a very typical Speed Barry race, I suppose, as he comes around the spoon curve. Race. And he's got Alvaro Aznar in his slipstream right now. Well, he's in Alvaro Aznar's slipstream, heading down towards the 130R bend. And as you can see, CRG Simon in close proximity as well, obviously looking to overtake the Renault of Jake as well, as they head down towards the Casio Triangle. A little bit of locking up there from VSR Jake. Naturally those tyres might be feeling a little bit slippery, and he does indeed come into the pit. So Speed Barry is officially our P1 here in the Japanese Grand Prix here at Suzuka. CRG Simon moves up to P2, Infamous into P3, Jarno Otmir in P4, gunning for the back end of that Renault. And don't you think he's getting a bit close, Maku?
Yeah. So let's see. But now we've Sven Zerner close to all of these front guys, like Sven Zerner now in 7th. He dropped back into the 13th, I think, after his pit stop. Now already really close to Come On. Yeah, let's see what he can do with his faster tires of this 5-year young, slightly younger tires.
I can't help but feel, Macu, that Sven Zerner might have just pulled off the strategy of the race, because naturally I don't think anyone else really, other than the guys obviously that would have just pitted, have gone for the one-stop strategy. I mean, Sven Zerner might have just outwitted the field here, to be honest with you, with the way things are going. He's only got 4 laps on those medium tyres, and we've got just under 10 laps to go, because we are in lap 18 of 27, and naturally you can imagine achieving no less than that sort of laps. 13 laps he'll accrue on those mediums at this rate, and surely that puts him in a very good, within a very good opportunity of managing to clamber a good result here at the MH Grand Prix.
Yeah. The other ones would need to put like 19 or 20 laps on these mediums, and that could be possible if you drive carefully, not if you get into any fighting, but I don't think that they want to risk this.
Certainly don't, and Sven Zerner getting closer and closer to the back of Kamil Komon, only 4 tenths separating him from the back of that Toro Rosso as we see them now make their way through this next section. Tyre grip, all the more important. We keep talking about tyre grip, and it is absolutely vital, certainly around this next section and around the Degners as well, as we see the McLaren there. Little bit of squirreliness going on with the rear tyres there as he made his way out of the Dunlop curve heading through the Degners, and very soon he'll be met with the hairpin bend there. He's in close contention now with Kamil Komon, only 7 tenths still separating them. The gap is still small as we look further up. Bernardo Perez only half a second behind Jarno Opmeer, who is only half a second behind VSR and Famous. So we've got very close contention battles here. Alvaro Aznar, who has come out on fresher softs, he is closely behind zones right now, and he could move. I tell you what, Alvaro Aznar, very good chance of getting into the points here, Macu.
Yeah, and both with the softs, of course, you can drive to until the end. The other ones in front of him have really slower tires.
He's coming around the smooth curve now, and if he can get a good exit heading into the back stretch, he can overtake zones here as he comes round. If he whacks it and overtakes, he's got plenty of DRS, he's got 70% left. He can have a crunch at this Haas driver as he makes his way down towards the 130 bend now, and you can see that Haas driver getting awfully close towards the front end of that Toro Rosso as they come towards the Casio triangle, and they make their way around, swallowing a lot of the curve there. And as you can see, very close, you can see Jack and Jones imprinted on the back of the Haas as he opens up the DRS and punches it now, and zones. He is being overtaken by the Toro Rosso of Alvaro Aznar as they make their way down towards the first corner, and he does it. He overtakes the Haas driver. Great move from Alvaro Aznar. What a drive there from him, Macu. Great overtake.
It was great driving of these guys, and in Japan it's a tricky track, and overtaking in the right spots is still tricky, so yeah.
Credit where credit is due. He is now only 1 position outside the points. Arsen Kardanov only currently 1.5 seconds ahead of him, and naturally I can imagine that gap being squashed even further with those 2-lap-old soft compact tyres as he makes his way up towards the hairpin bend here in lap 20 of 27 here at Suzuka, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all having a good evening here tonight. Plenty of activity I've seen in the chat going back. Please lend your support to your favourite drivers here today, your fellow countrymen who are out on circuit. We're very lucky to have the quality of drivers we have here from various different parts of the globe. Tell you what, the coronavirus may have hit the world, but we can fight back in the name of esports racing. As we see a hello there from Paku Palaja. Hello, Paku. Hope you're keeping well. As we see Alvaro Aznar, Sven Zerner overtake Kamil Komon now and take P6. Sven Zerner whittling his way up through the field once again, Macu. He is in P6. McLaren having a wonderful day here today.
And a beautiful drive. So currently 6 and 2, so basically a lot of points for them. Maybe they're overtaking someone in the team championship would be very good for them.
Certainly will. I mean, the gap currently in the championship right now is separated by no less than what seems to be 36 points between the likes of the McLaren and Red Bull team. Red Bull currently on 90 points in P2 of the team standings right now, and just in behind obviously McLaren with 54, though this could all change after the end of the day here because CRG Simon in P2, like we said, Macu, Sven Zerner in P6. we are in for a absolutely spectacular end to this Grand Prix. VSR Vasta Racer, I remember you from AOL, my friend. He is cheering for Speed Barry, who is currently leading the way, as we know currently. Brownie and Zones, a little battle heading, being undertaken there from these two. I think Zones might have made a mistake, in fact, because he's just come back on circuit. Looks like he got shaken up a bit there, Maku.
Yeah, could be, but I was just focusing on Jarno because it looked like he was taking a look into Infamous, but he couldn't get the right exit, so he maybe tries again next to lap or now down to the first corner, but I don't think so.
Getting close to the back of the Renault. He's coming down towards the first corner. Infamous moving to the Ven, but no, he can't defend. A little bit of touching as they make their way around. The Renault and the silver arrows of Jarno Watmir coming through now as Infamous doesn't manage to hold him off. The silver arrows of Jarno Watmir moves into the podium spot of P3, and that gives him a very, very good opportunity to gun down Simon now, though he is 6 seconds back. But what about Bernardo Perez? Because he's getting awfully close to the back of that Renault. But don't forget Sven Zerner, folks. He is within a second now. Within a second, the pace on those 8-lapped old medium tyres, they're starting to come through, Maku.
Yeah, so basically now it's, I think, for all of them to attack this front group, to attack Simon and Speedberry, who already are 6 seconds away. But yeah, let's see if they can catch up.
Absolutely. I mean, Sven Zerner now half a second separating him and Bernardo Perez. Bernardo Perez only just under 5/10 away from VSR Infamous as they come around Spoon Curve now. And VSR Infamous also on the back of Jarno Watmir as they make their way down towards the 130R right now. They're on the back stretch, leading down towards that really, really dodgy curve. If you get that wrong, you are in trouble as they make their way around. You can see the Williams getting awfully close to the back end of that Renault. Once again, Infamous has got himself one hell of a battle on here. As you can see, Jarno Watmir, he might be in trouble as well because the Renault tracking all over the back end of that Mercedes. We could be seeing a dogfight battle between these two as he makes his way down towards the stretch. The Renault moves on the outside and takes Jarno Watmir on the inside of that bend, and he takes it, moves back to P3. No fighting back here, Maku, and Jarno unfortunately has to sacrifice that P3 position, but we have got a hellacious battle in store here.
Beautiful battles. Let's see how often they change these positions. But if they really need to close into Simon or Speedberry if they want to take another place, but I'm not sure if they're able to because they have like 4 or 5 laps left, and then the race will be over.
Well, we have got, let's not forget, Sven Zerner has now managed, this must be music to his ears or his eyes, because he is seeing all this unfold in front of him, and no doubt it is managing to almost squash the times. We see Sven Zerner having a look down on the back end of Bernardo Perez. They go towards Spoon Curve. Bernardo trying to hold the McLaren off as they come round towards Spoon. What a move there from the McLaren driver. Sven Zerner on the outside of Spoon comes in on the exit now. He moves up to P5. Watch out, Jarno. Watch out, Infamous. Sven Zerner's coming.
Yeah, let's see what those three can pull out of, and they're in front. They're all fighting for third place now, so basically it's about to get one step on the podium. And yeah, let's see who comes out on top.
Well, they're coming around the Casio Triangle bend now, and VSR Infamous manages to create a little bit of a gap between him and Jarno Watmir. But let's not forget Sven Zerner, who is now opened up the DRS himself now, heading down towards the first corner here, obviously leading into the snake section. And very soon they'll have the anti-back curve as well ahead of them as they make their way around. Jarno once again getting in on the back end of that Renault, and no doubt this dogfight for P3 isn't over yet. I don't think Bernardo Perez is out of the question either, but you've got to think Sven Zerner on 10-lap old mediums, surely he has an advantage here, surely.
Yeah, surely he will. And well, let's look at the other drivers, because pitting to softs wouldn't really make sense now, like 3-4 laps before the end of the race. So they are all trying to do this with these tires until the end.
I think they're obviously aware with Sven Zerner's strategy. I think obviously pitting for softs towards the end of the race would prove to be a bit of a wrong move. I think this late here in the Grand Prix. Obviously we're lap 24 of 27, only 3 laps really remaining. Well, 2 if you include the fact that we're halfway through this one. But I mean, you know, naturally, anything can happen in racing. I mean, though the way things are stacked right now, if you really stack the chips, Sven Zerner, 10 lap old mediums, he is currently 4 or 5 laps better off on his compound right now, and very likely carries an exponential amount of grip, and far more than maybe others that are currently in the top flight positions right now. As we now see the DRS open up to Jarno Opmeer, and he's probably eyeing up Infamous right now like he's a tasty chicken leg as he makes his way down towards the corner, but no move being made here as VSR Infamous holds him off, and you can see a little bit of hand waving there because Sven Zerner having a little bit of toe and war here with that of Jarno Opmeer, and Jarno did not appreciate that. I just saw his caricature there show almost give him the finger, I think, Maku going around that initial bend, certainly leaving nothing to chance as they make their way around the Dunlop curve, and the McLaren of Sven Zerner getting, well, almost like a boxing match, really, wasn't it, Maku?
Yeah, he bumped like constantly into Jarno, but I think what was nothing too disturbing. Was kind of okay. It was still like annoying, but yeah. Next time, a clean overtake would be better.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm sure Jarno Opmeer was there sat in his seat wondering what Sven was doing. I mean, obviously Sven knows he's got the faster tyres on, and I'm sure he's looking to dispose of Jarno and Infamous as soon as possible to make the most of those 11 lap old mediums. Surely he's got that on his mind. As you can see, Bernardo Perez currently in P6. This is the battle of the race at the moment. We can't take our eyes off this as they make their way around the 130R right now, heading down towards the Casio Triangle once again. And Bernardo still staying within that gap from Sven Zerner at the moment. That's separated by 3/10 as they make their way down the home stretch. Jarno Opmeer with the DRS making his way down now. VSR Infamous coming into view, and Jarno instantly blocking the path of Sven Zerner. Naturally, though, both of them having DRS, not a lot will change in the gap between the two of them as they make their way around the initial first corner, making their way through the slick section now, and very easy on the power as they make their way, keeping it on the black stuff as they come around now. VSR Infamous still very much in the visor of Jarno Opmeer right now. Sven Zerner watching these two go at it as they come around the Dunlop curve. Speed Barry having a fairly uninterrupted race so far, Maku. CRG Simon currently just under, or just over now, 1.5 seconds away.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't think Simon is able to cash that up. I mean, he's done a really good qualifying pace, and he was really good with keeping up the first half, and he battled also a little bit with Speedberry, but I think Speedberry now earned this. He fought for this place, and you know, he takes his win, his 4th win, I think, or even 5th already, and so he now, I think, extends his or retakes the championship lead over 4th until now, which may take soon.
Well, just looking now, Jarno Opmeer right on the back of VSR Famous now as they come round towards the final corner, heading in. I mean, let's not forget, McLaren could be making waves here in the Constructors' Championship because they are both in very, very good pole positions as we see Jarno Opmeer dive on the outside of VSR Famous. Oh, there's a bit of touch and spinning! VSR Famous off the track! How unfortunate that is, but Sven Zerner moves up and plays, so does Bernardo Perez and Cameron Common, and that is going to be a very controversial moment in this Japanese Grand Prix. Very unfortunate because we've been watching some phenomenal racing between that of Infamous and Jarno Opmeer, but unfortunately Infamous spinning off the track, unable to keep it on the black stuff, and he now drops down to P7. A very, very sorry sight there, Maku.
In the last lap of the race. Oh no.
It's a real shame.
Very, very unfortunate.
Real shame.
Yeah.
Naturally, Sven Zerner, though, has got to be thinking of it as an opportunity because he is only 6/10 behind Jarno Opmeer, and with obviously no other car to get in the way, this is a great chance for him to make use of those reasonably fresher medium tyres as they make their way around Spoon Curve now. But obviously we've got to look further up because naturally Speed Barry is about to win yet another Grand Prix here in the ORL Racing League as he heads down towards the Casio Triangle for the last time. He exits it very, very shortly, very soon to come round the final corner, the final curve as they call it, coming round towards the finishing line, and it is Speed Barry! He wins the Japanese Grand Prix here for Red Bull. P2, CRG Simon, these two giving us a hell of a show. Didn't separate anything from qualifying. Jarno Opmeer comes home in P3. with Camel Come On moving up into P4 after no doubt a penalty there from Sven Zurner, who drops down to P6 of all places. Napodowski sneaking into P5 for Williams. VSR Infamous, naturally disgruntled at the result, comes home in P7. Photon gets points for Ferrari, vital points that they so desperately need in P8. Bernardo Perez drops down to P9. Alvaro Aznar picks up a point for Toro Rosso in P10. Arsene Kardinov P11 for the Alfa Romeo team. VSR Jake in P12. Hayes in P13, the other Red Bull driver outside the points, unfortunately. Calcifer, P14 for the Alfa Romeo driver. Leonard is about to finish now, coming round Spoon Curve, and so is Triton Mathias. They'll no doubt finish P15 and 16. But credit today goes to Speed Barry. What a race he's given us yet again. And he once again notches together a P1 here in the ORL Racing Series. He drove exceptionally well, Maku. What can we say?
Yeah, I mean, it's always fantastic to see him on top, and even though Simon gave him a really good battle today, I think he really earned this one, and I think it's really good for him to have another win after, I think, two kind of losses the last two races. So yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the confirmation there. Speed Barry taking P1 here, and the drivers now take their positions up on the pedestal. No doubt Speed Barry very, very happy with yet another win here in this World Championship Series at our ORL, and he can add the Japanese Grand Prix trophy to his locker as he sprays the champagne now. As you can see, in second place, the McLaren of CRG Simon Vigang doing extremely well. I will remember that next time. CRG Simon is Simon Vigang. P3, obviously, Jarno Opmeer after a great dogfight with VSR Infamous, which ended pretty ugly in the last lap, but it was a great battle nonetheless. We'll go through the final classifications. Maku, take us through.
So of course, as we said, we have Speedberry in winning this race, holding the trophy. Then in second, alongside him on the podium, we have CRG Simon Weigang, and Jarno Opmeer. The three drivers from the three different teams. Then in fourth, we have Camel Come On and Napodowski in fifth, Sven Zurner in sixth, Infamous in seventh, Photon in eighth, in ninth, Bernardo Perez in 10th, Alvaro Aznar in 11th, Arsene Kardinov, then VSR Jake, Hayes, Kelsover in 14th, Leonard in 15th, Matthias in 16th, Brownie in 17th, in 18th, Zones, Cruisix and Stiff, who I think disconnected from the race.
Yes,
or
DNFs towards the end
did
of
not
that race.
finish the race.
Yeah, Brownie, Zones, Cruisich and Steve unfortunately DNF'd in this Japanese Grand Prix. But the points all go to Red Bull and Speed Barry. What a race he gave us, what a performance. And once again caps off an excellent Japanese Grand Prix. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you ever so much for joining us. Please leave a like and also subscribe to the ORL Racing channel. We'll see you next week. From me, Joe Maldonado, George Morgan and Maku.
Wait.
Oh.
Aren't we going to have some interviews?
We are, yes! Sorry, yes we are. Apologies. That nearly ended miserably. That was quite simple.
no problem.
Yeah,
no problem.
I'm glad you saved me then, Maku. Glad you saved me then. Thank you, mate. We will be having driver interviews here at the end of the Grand Prix. Thank God Maku stopped me because I very nearly ended the stream. I wouldn't have been a very popular man doing that. So yes, we will be going to the driver interviews now very shortly. I'm sure they'll be with us any second now.
I'm sure. I think they can join us. I hope so. So just.
Just waiting on the drivers to join us now in the almost what we'll call the press conference room.
Let's wait. I think we're just going to switch to. Oh no, Speedberry is there. Wait, can he talk? No, I don't think so. Then Zerner can.
Hello.
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 Hello guys, can you hear me?
Yes, we
Yes.
can. Yes.
Yeah,
Hello.
nice.
What a
Hello.
race, guys.
Yeah, was good, I think.
Yeah. Superb. Absolutely superb. We're just waiting for. I think we're waiting for one more, aren't we, Maku?
Yeah, I think for Simon, right?
Yeah. Just waiting for CRG Simon to join us.
Yeah, I was like I lost like 1.5 tenths in the last chicane for my quali. Yeah, I thought I lost the pole.
Where did you get that pace from? I probably should save that question for the actual interview, to be honest. we'll just hold that one for now. We'll hold it for now. It's okay.
Okay, we will wait. No worry.
Simon, you there?
Simon, Vigang, are you there, sir?
Hello?
How are you?
Yeah, Simon.
Hello?
Hello. Can you hear
Hello,
us?
Simon.
Yeah.
Good man.
All right.
Yeah, we can.
Well, we're joined now with the three drivers from that Grand Prix. Obviously, some of the winning drivers here as well. Speed Barry, obviously in P1, CRG Simon P2, and Sven Zerner as well finished. I think you finished P4, didn't you, Sven?
I had some penalties, so P6 in the end, I think.
P6. Oh yes, of course. But still, no less, quite a spectacle you gave us. Nonetheless, it was superb to watch. We'll start obviously with our race winner, Speed Barry. Congratulations. Obviously goes to you, Speed Barry. Well done on the win.
Sorry.
Cool. Talk us through it. What a race.
Yeah, thank you. Just a race. Like when I just like lost a 1.5 in the last chicane, the quali, I thought Simon would get the pole because we did some practice together, and I just saw like we are really similar in the pace, in the race pace, in the quali. But like I'm super happy. Like pitted, I can my tire was like good, to be honest. But like when I just see the drivers start to went to the pit, I just make a decision to went to the pit on lap 8. And when I just came out completely behind the two guys in the traffic. But I just got them, I think, in that lap. But yeah, super happy. Just super happy with the result. The last couple of laps of the race was like really sweaty. You should just do everything you have, and just congrats to Simon, Sven, and the third guy. I don't know who is that guy. Like congrats to everyone. GG.
Yeah, that was Jarno Otmir who actually ended up in P3 of that race. Obviously, it was quite a final lap, to be honest, because obviously Sven started coming into the race, and your Speed Barry and CRG. Simon, we'll go to you now, of course. Simon, I got to say, great result from yourself as well.
Wait, Simon disconnect.
Oh yeah, Simon.
Other.
Oh,
Yeah,
Simon doesn't want to talk. Simon, are you there?
Yeah.
Simon, congratulations on a P2. Simon, very job well done, I suppose. Really, you pretty much, with Speed Barry going through towards the end of the race, only 1.5 seconds separating you really on that final lap. Talk us through your race. I mean, I've got to say, cracking drive, sir.
Thank you. I mean, not exactly what I wanted to say, but yeah, qualifying lap was not too great, but also bad. I messed my second lap up, so I had one lap left, and I don't know. The lap was alright, but then I was behind Barry in the first stint. Everything was pretty much smooth until the pit stops. When I went after him, I think, and I got held by the Williams, Nardi or something, and they cost me like 2 seconds, and so or 1.5 was what that is, and then I came out like 2 seconds behind Barry, which was bad because I wanted the DRS, when you're so similar, you kind of hard to catch up, and once we cleared the traffic, it was like 1.4, 1.5 seconds. And I tried to use a bit more DRS for like a few laps, and then that came down to like 1.2. But then I ran out in DRS, so the gap went back up to 5.
Yeah,
I mean, at the end, what can you do?
Yeah.
Barry.
Well, yeah,
Nice
I mean, sorry to interrupt. I mean, obviously, I was just going to quiz you about actually the strategy on track, because it looked like at one point I thought you might actually try the one-stop and do what Sven was doing. Did that ever come into your mind, doing the one-stop strategy as opposed to the two-stop?
We all did one.
Oh, you all did. Sorry, yeah, sorry, that's all right. Sorry, I was a bit silly. Sorry. Yeah, of course, yeah, you did the one stop as well. But naturally, maybe pitting a little bit later on than others, because naturally the tie lives seem to come into play. Because Sven seemed to obviously come out a little bit later. He seemed to gather a lot of pace. Going laterally into the Grand Prix. How did you find the tie lives going around the circuit of Japan? Because it seemed like a lot of the guys were pitting quite early.
For me, it wasn't an issue actually. The pit window was quite big, anywhere between like lap 7, lap 11 possible. So, yeah, I mean, it was fine for me.
Yeah. Okay. Well, congratulations on a P2, and I'm sure we'll see you up there again in the future, and obviously up in the P1. I'm sure next week we'll see some more. We'll
Thank
move.
you.
No problem at all. Jarno, long time no speak.
Yes.
Yes. How are you, sir?
Not too great, not too bad.
No. It was. I got to say, it was a good watch for us in the comms box. We enjoyed that battle on the final lap. I mean, to be honest with you, it was going on for quite a few laps, wasn't it, towards the end? Obviously, give us your thoughts going in towards the end of that race. I mean, obviously, P3 not ideal, but you got there in the end.
Yeah, I didn't have a lot of time to practice, so I knew going into the race I was going to be slower than the top guys. And then at the start, everyone their lights went out before mine, so that was not ideal at all.
No.
So I lost quite a lot of positions, but then the race pace was quite okay. And then I battled Infamous for pretty much since after the pit stops. And then on the last lap we had an incident. I don't know what exactly happened. I need to watch it back.
Yeah, it was obviously obviously leave it to the necessary stewards to look at. I mean, I'm sure it will be reviewed, but I got to say it was an enthralling battle, excellent to watch. It's exactly what we hope to see when we watch it, and certainly added no less than drama, and certainly gave me something to shout about here in the comms box. Obviously, going into the initial races, you're currently leading the championship. I believe it's a matter of a few points separating yourself and Speed Barry, of course. I mean, what are your thoughts going deeper into this championship? Are you confident, or?
I don't know exactly. I think he's a few points ahead.
Yeah.
After this win, but I'm quite confident about the oncoming track, so it should be good.
Yeah, I think I can hear Speed Barry clenching his fists right now, actually. Getting ready for the punch-up that is yet to come later on in the season. But yes, congratulations on P3, Jarno. Excellent result there for yourself. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah. We'll head over now towards Sven Zerner, who, I've got to say, pulled off a bit of a later change strategy, as we discussed. And Sven, what a race from yourself, sir. Give us something to really scream about with many overtakes there. Give us your comments on the end of that race.
Yeah, I gave it all to finish in the podium at the end, but wasn't enough. At some point I was very close. At the second last lap, I think it was. I was next to Jana and he pushed me a bit on the grass. It was fair, I have to say, but there I lost. He did a great defense there.
I like how you knocked the "it was fair" bit in there. Like how you knocked in the
yeah, it's okay. It's in the rules. Yeah,
it's all right. He's not going to hit you, Sven. You
No.
Yeah.
Sadly, I had very less practice for this track, same as for Spain and Silverstone. So I fucked up the quali once again.
Yeah.
But I think without practice, I'm still strong in the race. So yeah, I was very fast in the race than I was in the qualifying.
Yeah, well, I got to say, I mean, you've had a bit of an unfortunate start. I did mention it earlier on the stream. Maku would testify to that. We obviously remember Bahrain, and you had your unfortunate puncture towards the end of the race. It was a real shame. And
Yeah.
But I had a 5-second penalty anyways for speeding in the pit, so the win was out of the window.
Yeah, but surely it must encourage you to see that you had so much pace towards the end of the race. I mean, you were really challenging, pushing your car to the limits. You were right up there with a chance to challenge.
Yeah, my problem was I qualified in P10, so I had to use the soft.
Yeah.
And yeah, I tried to do something else to can overtake because I had a better speed. I think it worked out beautifully.
Yes, it was certainly a good strategy, and perhaps on another day might have prevailed as well. But anything from you, Maku? Do you want to ask the guys any questions?
No, you just squeeze them all out. I think we have all the information we need.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, guys. Well, thank you ever so much for joining us in the comms box. It's a pleasure, and we'll look forward to next week as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank
See you.
See you.
Bye
Cheers.
bye.
See you.
Thanks,
guys.
guys. Take care. So, ladies and gentlemen, that has been it from me, Gio Maldonado, George Morgan, also from Maku. Maku, thank you ever so much for once again a great common casting.
Yeah, it was a great race today. It was really exciting to watch these drivers going around Suzuka in Japan. And I'm really excited for next week when we're going to Italy. We're going to Monza.
Monza. We're heading over to the island of Italy, not on lockdown on the game, unlike it is in real life. So we'll be bringing you live coverage from the Monza ORL Grand Prix here next week. So join us next week on Thursday for that one. But from me, just to say before we go, obviously smash a like and a subscribe to the ORL Racing channel. But do join us next week on Thursday for yet more action, this time from Italy. Goodbye.
Goodbye.